All right. Good morning, gamers, and welcome back to episode 6, if I remember how to count, of the Luvstar Fan Discord Beta SMP Let's Play. I'm standing outside my house now, and I don't really remember why. I think I was going to check the mailbox, but there's nothing in it right now. There was some black dye, aka squid ink, in there earlier, donated by an anonymous benefactor, so I appreciate that very much. Um, Very helpful for the progress of, well, I think at this. No, did that despawn? Ah, come on. I saw that earlier, and I was like, as soon as. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Well, not all hope is lost. I was like, man, as soon as I start recording, I gotta get over there before those sheep despawn. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, you guys know why I need squid ink. I don't have to repeat myself 40 times, although I don't think I don't think we saw that in the last episode. I think that's new. I'm pretty sure that
Muffin Bunny is the one that put that there, so thank you very much. They also put one on the inside of the boiler of the Scotsman, but I took that one down because it was made out of black wool. I needed black wool, but the one above the house is kinda silly. That one was well, since people could actually see it and it was pretty cute, so it gets to stay. We're coming back inside here because there are a couple of housekeeping things we need to go over. There's good news and bad news. We'll save the good news for last.
for last. The bad news, listen, guys, I'm not a big drama queen, okay? I don't really want to get into the details of this, but long story short, I no longer have a roommate because they got banned from the server and um, has nothing to do with me, of course. I had no idea that this person would be a nuisance of any variety. They just, as soon as they joined, a couple days or a couple weeks ago, they said, "Hey, you have a cool house. Can I move in?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm not using this space for anything else. Go right ahead." And they were pretty cool, but they started breaking some rules. The big thing. Listen, guys, I don't know how. I don't even really want to say this to like put any ideas in people's head, but apparently it's like pretty easy to impersonate other people on older versions of the game, and that's what they were doing. And maybe they thought it was funny, but I mean, listen, it's one thing to join as Notch, it's another thing to join as Lovestar on, the Lovestar fan server. Not a good idea, and they received warnings, but continued to do it, and ended up getting banned. I know I just said I wasn't going to get into it, and then I pretty much got into it and explained the entire story. So whoops. Sorry about that. But anyhow, this was their room, and if anybody would like to move in, well, you know who to call. Uh, anyway, let's get on to the good news. Okay, hold on. There's one more bad news. I'm 99% sure someone stole cocoa beans from me. If it was you, I'm not mad. Please just give them back, okay? I don't think it was my roommate. I'm pretty sure it wasn't them. I'm pretty sure it was someone during the stream, and I only recently noticed this. I don't think I have any record of how many exactly I had before the famous slash infamous Lovestar birthday stream. I'm pretty sure it was more than two. If you took them and you still have them, or you have any, cookies that you crafted with them, just let me know. I'll take them back. I'm not mad, okay? Anyway, the good news is that stuff has been happening in the Rainbow Room. What has been happening? Well, I've hired an independent contractor to get some custom carpets installed. And you can kind of start to see the idea of what's going on in here. It was actually Helen Newcomb. I thought that I assumed rather that it would be Goku Carrot, if anybody, who would have put the ad up for the custom carpet surface. It's actually the old Duke Nukem, who I have paid. I don't think I've given them payment yet. I don't know if you listen. Go ahead, leave me a comment if you want like half in advance or whatever. But yeah, I think what we agreed on was something like, okay. The problem is I'm broke on diamonds as always, so I could not afford like 4 diamonds. That would be not nearly enough for this much wool. So I offered them. I think it was like it was something goofy like 20 stacks of cobble and 32 gold or something. Was the payment I agreed on, but yeah. So that is a work in progress, and progress is being made, and I love how it's coming along. All going to plan, so that's good. We will walk, not teleport to the train today because there is something that is not really on the way, but like kind of sort of maybe on the way. Not really. Anyway, I said way a lot. All right, let's head out. Let's head out to the old job site. Oh crap. Should I have put a trigger warning on that? Sorry guys. My bad. My bad. I'll do better. I know. I know. Uh yeah, it's actually not on the way at all. It's towards uh the dock space. What's up, Doc? Anyway, towards his base, we had a special guest on the server. Um not Luvstar, but actually just this random person named John. I don't know if any of you guys have met them, but they seemed pretty cool to me. I hung out with them a little bit, checked out what they were building over here. They seemed to be building, or like, in conjunction with the doctor. They built a big old pumpkin out of pumpkin, which is pretty neat. It's like it's like that book James and the Giant Peach, except it's John and the Giant Pumpkin. I yeah. Um, and then sorry, I'm getting distracted by pressing matters right here. And then they also built this house. This house is the House of John, uh, as it says on a sign out front. You guys can't hear this, but there's a really loud zombie down there, kind of annoying me. Anyway, yeah, let's visit House of John. Oh yeah, pretty nice. Good. It's prime beachfront property right here. Really. Listen, say what you will about my property value, but I don't think the location is really doing me any favors. So yeah, a good spot there. Love the design, and let's head back out to the train so I can give you guys an update on where we are in terms of the construction. This is definitely, I think this is definitely going to be well, I think definitely, good God, I need to get better at speaking. That's the point of this. So, making progress. Anyway, this is going to be a little bit of I did some mining off camera type of a thing because substantial progress has been made. I don't even remember what all I had last time, but it wasn't this much. And you're probably looking at this and being like, "Dang, that's looking like it's practically done." At least as far as the locomotive goes, and you would almost be right, actually. So, what have we done? I think well, first of all, we finished the smoke box and the funnel. We finished putting the roof on. There's something kind of creative with that I'll show you when we get up there. Finished putting the whistle on. I made the dome a little bit bigger, I think, because I don't think it was big enough before. And then we put the side rods on, all the valve gear and everything, represented with the smooth stone slabs. And then I put the cylinder casings on. And last time we were talking a lot about, the lack of boiler bands, and me talking about, things that should be black that I'm just leaving green. Speaking of things that should be black that I'm leaving green, look at that, like where my cursor is, right? That's the cylinders that would. Ugh, excuse me for yawning. Um, I'm not even gonna. I listen, guys. I'm a fake train fan. I don't know how trains work. Anyway, that's uh moral of the story. That should be black. So why isn't it? Is it just because I don't want to waste squid ink on it? Not really. Once again, Jarvis, bring up the reference photo. Jarvis, bring up Flying Scotsman 1968 PNG, please. Thank you. If you look there on the cylinder casings for that specific weird custom LNER apple green-ish livery that I'm replicating, the cylinder casings are erroneously painted in apple green. So that's what I've replicated here with my recreation of it. Another thing is actually that nameplate right there, which, I mean, good luck trying to write Flying Scotsman on 10 blocks, right? But that should also be black, but they decided to paint it red for some reason. So I made it red myself. Yeah. So do I have anything else to say here? Okay. The one thing on the locomotive, I'm pretty sure this is literally the last thing on the main locomotive body that I need to do to be finished, is you're saying, well, there's no drive rods, no connecting rods, no nothing over on this side, right? With all those, you saw those stone slabs on the other side. So what's the big idea here? And the big idea is that on my prototype of this, I literally just mirrored it, right? I used world edit, and I was like, slash slash copy slash slash mirror slash slash paste, right? Um, but the thing is, this is a very small detail that I'm sure zero people would have noticed or cared about until I had pointed it out, which I'm going to point it out right now before I've even built it, um, which is something called quartering. And what that is, I think it's called quartering, I hope it um, is basically, so, all right, think about this rod, this one on the bottom here, right? That is, like, it connects all the wheels together, and that's ultimately, like, wait, hold on, is that what I'm thinking of? It might be this one. Like I said, I don't actually know how any of this works. Just imagine there's one rod. There, how about that? That makes it easier. Anyway, yeah, just pretend I'm not stupid. So, basically, in order for, rotational movement to happen, right, that's basically being transferred just by the side-to-side movement up here with like the piston, right? And you can imagine a situation where if the locomotive stopped with the drive rod exactly like parallel into the piston, and the piston tried to push it, it would just be pushing like straight back, right? There wouldn't be any off angle, like imagine this is exactly in the center of that wheel, right? It's not off center on the bottom, right? Because if it's off center on the bottom, then when you push it, it's gonna like go like that, right? Um, if it's exactly in the middle, then you push on it, and I mean, it would probably just break, right? And it wouldn't create any rotational movement. So how do you prevent that? Well, the way you prevent that is you actually make the sides not in the same position. What you do is you turn the wheels on the other side of the locomotive 90 degrees in relation to the opposite side, right? So maybe I'll try to put a clip or something up here of like an engine in action, and you may have seen something like this and wondered, like, wow, did they? I mean, what's the idea? Like they couldn't be bothered to make the wheels line up, but no, that's accurate. That's how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to be uneven, to prevent the engine from like getting stuck. Is the way I understand it. I think that's at least a major part of the reason why quartering is done. So all that to say, what I need to do is go back into Creative and figure out what this whole mechanism should look like when it's uh, 90 degrees around from where it is now, and then I have to mirror that to put on the other side. Um, okay, hold on. Did I go like up here? I don't think I did. Let's go up here. So yeah, I need to kind of put some sort of like a foot plate, and then basically just like a wall here to block this off. I'll probably build that just out of like the smooth stone. That's kind of my de facto, like, just neutral block for these projects. And then up here on the roof, what you'll notice is that it's open. And you might be thinking, well, did you do that just to save black wool? And class, what do we think the answer is? Well, yes, but also no. Because, as with many locomotives, the class A1/A3 had a vent in the roof. Because, well, if you think about it, you don't see it there because I haven't built it because I'm lazy and I'm not going to build any real detailed interior on this thing, but there would be, a fire like right there, and fires are hot. And, if you think about it, you're working 2 feet away from a fire. That might get a little uncomfortable. You might want to vent to help suck that hot air out of where you're working, to make it more comfortable when you're driving the locomotive, right? So yeah, this is 100% accurate, 100% exact, to the down to the inch. Vent on the roof here, which helps to save on materials as well. Let's sleep, because you can't see anything at night in beta. Okay. Any minute now. Alright. Good long sleep. So, what next? Well, besides putting those rods on over there, we gotta work on the tenders now. And, we're already almost complete with the first one. The second one coming along nicely. You may notice I'm not even bothering to like slimify this wool here because, I mean, I'm basically done with the lime wool. Like I'm gonna need, okay, I need a little more up there. I need like a little more on the sides here because the middle, like all of this middle here is going to be a corridor, which is going to lead into the next thing that I'm going to build. Already, in typical fashion, already planning the next thing before I even finish this one. The next thing that I want to build is one singular BR Mark I coach for this to pull, because I don't want to. And okay, actually, I'm gonna need some input on this because I'm not sure if I want to build this. I want to build a coach, but
But you maybe noticed that I'm saying, whoa, what am I saying? You maybe noticed, Jesus fucking Christ. You may notice that that's not a lot. Trains are supposed to have more than one of something behind them. The problem is, you see, these redstone torches here. The furthest redstone torch way at the end down there is 70 blocks. 70 blocks from this dirt block right here. And that's because that is the length of one of the coaches that I've designed. So the problem is, I do not have any more room to build more than one of them, because they're so gosh darn long, right? And if this was, a month ago, this wouldn't have been a problem. So, a month ago, the server was dead, and I had all the room in the world to do anything I wanted. But now that the server is alive and healthy and thriving and everyone's happy and we have 1 million residents, I can no longer build in this direction. Because if I did, it would be heavily encroaching on Beth's base over there, right? This would smash straight through the hillside, and if I want another 70 blocks, it would basically go straight to their front door. And I don't think they want that, based on what they've said in some of their videos. I think they're already cramped for space themselves. I'm gonna have to cut it short here. So I wonder, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worth it just to build one car? Or the other thing I could do is just end it here. Just have it running light engine, right? I think that's a valid option as well. I don't know. Because the other thing is, no one's actually going to walk all the way down here, at least not for the purpose of looking at the train. On the other hand, it may be worth building the coach, because, I mean, we'll see if I build it what it looks like. Maybe it'll look good, maybe it'll look bad. What I'm hoping is it'll give the implication that there are more. Because you'll not be able to see the end of the first one from any reasonable angle that you can see the locomotive from, right? So I don't know if the fact that there's only one would actually be that big a problem. I don't know. You guys, tell me what you think. What you think? We're gonna go over here and kill some squid. Man, they are kind of stingy. Did they all drop one? Or am I stupid? Because they dropped 1 to 3, I think. And I guess I'm getting pretty lucky, so maybe that's my luck finally equalising. What else was I going to talk about? I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm feeling good. I had a good day today. I had a good test for one of my classes. I walked in there, sat down with my headphones on. I was blasting American Pie, I think. Then that's the name of the song, not the movie, obviously. The song. I just listened to the upbeat, groovy bit. I didn't listen to the outro as it gets sad again at the end. That really got me in the zone. Frankly, the test it was on accounting, research, and writing, and frankly, the test was a lot easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be, and I was worried that that was it. was really stressed and was like, oh, I'm going to fail this course and get kicked out of the program. That's not going to be good. But yeah, I don't know what I got on the test, but it's definitely not an F. I looked at my notes and stuff because, the professor is very fair, but not lenient, which I like. I don't like when the professor's like, do whatever you want, gives you an A. Because if all these morons are getting A's, that kind of devalues mine. If this is meant to be, and I mean, was meant to be a comprehensive final exam, we were allowed some handwritten notes to take in with us, which I did. I sat down, looked at the first 10 questions or so, and I thought, damn, that's exactly what I have written down in front of me. So this should be kind of a breeze, and it was, thankfully. And yeah, I mean, I had a good day. I came home, talked to my dad about how the test went, and that was good. It's always good to have a good conversation. And then I hopped on the old cord for the disc and talked to people on there. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I used to really have a lot of social anxiety. And I guess I still do in certain situations. It's not like I'm walking outside, pushing myself and saying hi to everybody, but I think I'm making progress and these videos are helping.
Just normalizing to myself the idea of me talking to other people. Because I don't know if anybody here watched the first video I made, the first ever video on this channel, where I mean, I shit you not, I was literally so not used to talking that I was getting out of breath after talking for only like 10 minutes. And then, because, well, you know me and you know how long these videos get, I still had about another 30 minutes after that of talking to do, where I was just like, trying to catch my breath the whole time. Like my vocal cords, like my throat hurt the next day after recording that. That's how much not talking I used to do. Which is kind of funny. But anyhow, we've made, what was that, 46 blocks of progress today, and I think that's less than last video, but I also think that this video may be marginally shorter than last video, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I hope you learned something from this video. I think it was probably worse than last one, but that's okay. You can't win them all. We're going to call it there. Good night.